present arms. Order, arms. Port, arms. Column left, march.
Please be seated. Good evening. On behalf of the Eden Prairie Community Band and the City of Eden Prairie, we thank you for joining us this evening as we celebrate America and give a special salute to our military. We give a special thank you right now to the members of the Chanhassen American Legion Post 580 for their bringing the flags and presenting the colors. My name is Rob Estrin, and I play trumpet here in the community band and the Prairie Ramblers jazz band that will play in a little while. And tonight, we are so pleased to bring you performances by both of those groups. We'll be playing some musical favorites to honor American history and patriotism. As we look ahead to the 4th of July and this week of celebrating our country, we want to extend a special welcome to all of the veterans of the armed forces and all of the active service military members in our community, as well as their families and support systems. Please join me in a round of applause for tonight's special guests. We are so honored to have you here. I also want to extend special thanks to the Color Guard and our veteran speaker, Matt Partyka. Before we start tonight's program, I have just a few announcements. Just a reminder that there is no smoking in any of the Eden Prairie parks or facilities. Throughout the evening, concessions are available up on the plaza. We have portable restrooms located at the top of the stairs, and then there are also indoor restrooms available in the park building over there. If you have questions or need assistance, staff are located throughout the area. We'll begin with a performance by the Eden Prairie Community Band, and later we'll hear a few selections from the Prairie Ramblers. In between, we'll be thrilled to welcome one of our local veterans, Matt Partyka, who will share his service story as well as honor his fellow veterans. And now, on with the show. The Eden Prairie Community Band is performing throughout the summer around the Twin Cities, and we are absolutely delighted to be a part of this wonderful event tonight. Please join me now in welcoming to the podium our director, the maestro, Tom Muehlbauer.
Thank you. When Aaron Copland was asked by the government to write a fanfare for the United States as we were about to enter into World War II, he said, yeah, I'll do it, but I don't want you to name it after any general or after any battle. I want you to name it after the average guy that leaves his home and his family and goes out to fight and maybe die for his country. So today we have the beautiful fanfare for the common man. So as long as we're talking about him, let's say hello to those common men and women, those veterans that are out there. We're gonna play your favorite songs, and when we do, if you can stand and be counted or wave or just make a commotion, make sure we know that was you. This Armed Forces salute. Marines. Air Force. Navy. Thank you, and we once again thank veterans, all of you that are here and all of you that are not here. We thank you for, well, for everything. So, thank you. Let's go back to another war, our own Civil War. During the battles, during the time that raged, we up here, the good guys, decided we needed a a theme, something to make the people want to get out there and fight. So, and since we thought we were the good guys, we thought we would base a little piece of music on battle scenes from the Bible. And we would put that in our music because, after all, we knew we had the man upstairs on our side, and he had that terrible swift sword, and we were going to win. So anyway, you know this song, that's the story behind it. That's how it became the Republic, the battle hymn about the Republic. If you want to sing along, we'll hear you up here. Thank you. That was the battle hymn. We're going to do one more tune now before we bring on our special guest. This is a John Philip Sousa march. No, not that one. We saved that one for the end. But this is another one that he wrote in honor of that famous icon in Philadelphia, the Liberty Bell. This is the Liberty Bell March, and you may be familiar with this because the British stole it back. Monty Python used this for their theme song for about 7 years. So, John Philip Sousa's The Liberty Bell. I hear it now. I hear it. Don't repeat the last section. Is the bell ready? Okay, ready.
At this time, I'd like you to please join me in welcoming the mayor of our fair city, the mayor of Eden Prairie. Welcome onto the stage, Mayor Ron Case.
Well, what a great evening to be here, and what a phenomenal event. And Eden Prairie is such a, well, I love Eden Prairie, so I'm bragging on it here, but we are such an amazing community having all these events. And we don't just have the one night of 4th of July, we have 3. So thank you for coming out on a hot evening, and maybe another round of applause for our community band, who not only came out and is playing incredibly well, but it's hot up here. So thank you so much, all of you. think shorts might be a proper attire for mandatory next year as well. Also, since we are celebrating veterans here in Eden Prairie tonight, I would like, if you have ever served in one of the branches of our military or are currently serving, if you are able, would you stand so that we can acknowledge and recognize your service? Thank you, thank you. Thank you on so many different levels, but we really appreciate you. So it's my honor this evening to introduce our special speaker, who is an Eden Prairie resident. His family has lived here for many years, I think 7. Matt Partyka. Matt is a distinguished individual whose life has been marked by an unwavering commitment to excellence and duty to our nation. Matt was born in, okay, now I'm gonna mess this up, Chicopee? Chicopee, that might have been my second guess, probably not, but Chicopee, Massachusetts. Now, honestly, raise your hand if you've heard of Chicopee, Massachusetts. Okay, oh, wow, oh, daughter of a special speaker, that's not fair, and attending Norwich University in Vermont on an ROTC scholarship. Upon graduating from Norwich, I'm saying that correctly, I hope. Correct. He was commissioned into the United States Army as a second lieutenant in 2004, and most recently retired from active duty service in October 2024, having achieved the rank of lieutenant colonel. He spent, yes, that's deserving of that. He spent most of his military career as a helicopter pilot. Interesting, when we were standing up there just a few moments ago, a helicopter took off from the airport and Matt turned and that caught his attention. I understand a lot why now. He flew UH-60 Blackhawks and serving in various leadership roles around the world. Among these locations included deployment to Iraq and Afghanistan, where he flew over 250 combat missions, evacuating the sick, the wounded, and the injured from those battlefields. That's really wonderful. Thank you. Now an Eden Prairie resident, Matt is married to his beautiful wife, Laura, who I just met, and I would confirm that, who grew up in Roseville, Minnesota. Together, they are proud parents to Henry 11, Annie 8, and Lainey 6. Why don't the kids, yep, kids stand. Absolutely, you deserve, the family deserves a whole lot of support here as well. Annie's a middle child, I think we can tell that. Going in 3rd grade, I taught 3rd grade a couple years. She's a wonderful example of stellar Eden Prairie 3rd graders. He now works as a project manager for an engineering company in Minnetonka and enjoys his free time playing with his kids, working out, and traveling. Matt, would you please come up on the stage?
I think I'm going to stand over here and try to get out of the sun a little bit, because I don't want to speak with my sunglasses on, but let me see what I can do up here. Okay, first off, can everybody hear me? All right, that's the most important thing, right? All right, Mayor Case, thank you for the wonderful introduction. And ladies and gentlemen, please help me in giving a round of applause to the American Legion Color Guard, if they're still here. And how about our wonderful musicians this evening? All right, thank you. Mayor Case, distinguished guests, residents, friends and family of Eden Prairie, thank you for inviting me to be your guest speaker for tonight's Salute to Service celebration. It is an absolute honor to be standing before you at this wonderful event as a resident of Eden Prairie, and most importantly, as a proud military veteran. At this time, I would like, well, I actually need to skip this part because the mayor already got it from me. I was going to say thank you to the veterans one more time. So how about a round of applause to all our veterans one more time? So as I stand here before you this evening, I would like to share a little bit about what it means to serve and why it is important to remember, reflect, and give thanks to those currently serving or have served our nation. I would also like to share what it means to me personally as well. I will start off with a quote from General Douglas MacArthur during his famous West Point speech in 1962 as the framework for my speech this evening. MacArthur famously stated, and I quote, "Duty, honor, country. Those three hallowed words reverently dictate what you ought to be, what you can be, and what you will be." Start off first with duty. Every American who joins the armed forces swears an oath at the time of their enlistment. It is a time-honored tradition that signifies a service member's commitment to our nation, a transition from civilian to military life, and fulfilling the obligations required as a member of our military. Every service member has a duty to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Veterans, your willingness to uphold these obligations is what sets you apart. Thank you. So a little bit about me and my history. As a child, I grew up from humble beginnings in a small city called Chicopee, Massachusetts, next to Springfield, which is famous for being the home of the Basketball Hall of Fame. Located in western Massachusetts next to Westover Air Force Base, I think some of the people in here that knew Chicopee might know Westover as well. I spent my youth going to air shows at Westover, daydreaming about being a soldier, and most importantly, I experienced an overwhelming sense of patriotism and a love of country. Tens of thousands of our fellow Americans, I knew at an early age I wanted to join our armed forces, and I dedicated my youth to developing and achieving this goal. In the words of General MacArthur, this is who I ought to be. Honor. It is an absolute honor and privilege to serve our nation. It is a calling that few Americans have or are willing to undertake. If you didn't know, less than 1% of the U.S. population currently serves in uniform and serves our nation on active duty or in the reserve components. There are currently 15 million veterans living among us, representing only 6% of our total population. And since 1973, our military has been an all-volunteer force, meaning this is a small population of Americans who willingly join and risk their lives defending our great nation. Putting service before oneself is a great honor. This is what makes being a veteran unique and why we are saluting their service today. Upon graduating high school, I attended Norwich University, the nation's oldest private military school, and earned an Army ROTC scholarship. It was at Norwich that I learned the principles of discipline, leadership, and the meaning of becoming a professional soldier. I learned how to become an Army officer and lead from the front. Becoming an officer was no easy task. It was a fulfilling challenge with hard moments. However, my determination to join the elite core of American society that makes up the less than 1% drove me to achieving my ultimate goal and childhood dream. It would be an honor to serve my country, and in the words of MacArthur, becoming a military officer showed me who I can be. Country. Thomas Jefferson, our nation's third president, once said, "Love your neighbor as yourself and your country more than yourself." Jefferson believed in a love for one's country that extended beyond self-interest and included a willingness to defend it in times of need. From the American Revolution, Civil War, the two World Wars, Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf War, Iraq and Afghanistan, and many others that were not mentioned, our service members and veterans have answered the call to defend our nation and are continuing to do so today all over the world. There are currently over 243,000 American service members deployed overseas defending our nation. Veterans, your past service and current service, the American people are forever grateful for your dedication and commitment to defending our freedom. 2.5 years after graduating from Norwich and receiving my commission as an Army officer, I found myself flying medical evacuation missions in Iraq, evacuating the sick, wounded, and injured soldiers and Marines off the battlefield. Less than 20 months later, after my Iraq deployment, I was sent to Afghanistan on my second deployment, flying medevac under some of the most austere and scary conditions possible. My fellow soldiers and I were flying extremely dangerous medical evacuation missions under constant threat of enemy fire and the unrelenting stress of combat. At that moment in time, piloting and leading soldiers in combat, accomplishing my lifelong dream of military service as a pilot, and fulfilling my obligations to our country, I knew that this was exactly where I needed to be. In the words of MacArthur, my war experiences made me into who I would become. One of the Army values is selfless service, and the principle behind it is to put the welfare of the nation, the Army, and others before your own. I surely learned that lesson on a dark fall night in Afghanistan. So, who here likes stories? Everybody likes stories. Okay, just to gauge a little bit from the audience. Okay, I'll do my best with this microphone here. Who likes stories? Yay, all right. Thank you for dealing while I improvised here. Okay, so what I was getting at, and I like to do a formal part of the speeches and sometimes I like to do informal, so this won't be a little bit more informal in telling stories on here. So like I said, one of the Army values is selfless service, and on a fall night in Afghanistan, I learned all about selfless service. I was flying medevac missions on this day. I flew about 8 or 9 missions. We flew the max amount of hours that we could fly on our helicopter day that day, which is 8 hours before another crew has to take over. Unfortunately, the other crew that was stationed with me also flew their 8 hours, and then we were no longer allowed to fly. That's the Army regulation when it comes to that. So I was thinking, hey, since I'm not going to be on call for the rest of the night, I think tonight would be a great night to take a shower. And anybody who knows, who's been deployed will know that when you're in an austere environment, you don't have access to a shower that often. And our showers weren't like normal showers. They weren't like, hey, I'm going to go take a shower and there's going to be running water and everything. No, what we had a makeshift shower that we built with a canvas bag, and each one of us, there's 14 of us that were at Forward Operating Base Dwyer, and each one of us had a 5-gallon jug of water with our name on it. And that's all we had for the week. And we had to take a canvas bag, take the 5-gallon bucket, the 5-gallon drum, dump it into the canvas bag and hoist it up on a rope. And then it would get to the top, and then you would open up the nozzle just a little bit and get that running water dripping on you, because you were like, I don't get to take a shower for a long time. I don't know when the next time I'll take a shower. So I decided that day to take a shower. About an hour after I took my shower that night, I got a phone call from Air Traffic Control saying, hey, sir, we just want to let you know that all those patients you and your crews took into the hospital today need to be transferred to Bagram. And so when a Chinook is going to come pick them up, and it's going to be a British Chinook, and they've never been there before. And I was like, okay, no problem. Got him in on the radio. And so I grabbed a handheld radio, grabbed some night vision goggles, and went outside with a chem light and started guiding them in. And anybody who's served lately will know that you take that chem light and you put it on about a 5 to 10 foot 550 cord, which is a rope, and you start swinging it so the guy can see you. So as the guy was coming in, the Chinook pilot, who happened to be British, as he was coming in, I could see him with my night vision goggles, and I started directing him in on the radio. And he says, I got you, I see you, I'm coming in to land. And so as he's on short final, and I'm a helicopter pilot, so I know this, he's on short final to land, I'm saying to myself, a Chinook is a big helicopter that produces a lot of wind. And he's coming close to me. And as he's coming close to me, I know that we're in a desert, and he's gonna kick up a lot of dust. And what did I just do an hour earlier? So as the Chinooks come in, he said, I got you. I said, okay. And as he's just coming in to land, I grabbed the chem light that I'm whipping around for him, thought I gave him a good reference point to land, and I started running. And I'm running as fast as I can across the LZ, back to my operations tent to get out of the way of Chinook. And as I'm running, I'm going, why is the Chinook not landing? Why is he following me? No! No! And if anybody who's been out there realizes when you're trying to land in the desert at night, there's no reference points. There's no trees, there's no lights, there's no anywhere to land. So the only light that he could see through his night vision goggles was the one I was running with. So he's following me all the way, and then finally I got on the radio, I'm going, no, you're getting too close to the operations tent, you're gonna blow it over, wave off. So he goes back around, does another pattern, and comes back in the land, he's setting up. And this time he goes, hey, and we talked about what had happened, and I told him, I was like, hey, as you got closer, I started running, that's why you followed me. And he goes, the next time I come in, can you hang on a little bit longer? And I was like, yeah, I can do that. So as he's coming in to land, I'm getting nervous. I don't want to be next to this big helicopter kicking up that much dust and wind, especially since he's going to come down, he's going to land pretty hard, and if I don't get out of the way fast enough, he might hit me. So I'm hanging on, and as soon as I know that he's committed, he has to land, I start running. And as I'm running, I'm looking over my shoulder, and I can see this dust cloud, and it's coming. And I'm running as fast as I can. I was 27 at the time, and it's like I run a lot faster than I can now. And I'm looking over, and I'm like, please don't hit me, please don't hit me, please don't hit me. And I thought I was going to get out of the way on time, and then poof, the dust cloud covered me from head to toe in dust. What about a layer this thick? So, me not being very happy, I walk into the operations tent, and all my guys are sitting there, relaxing, and they just looked at me and started laughing, saying, sir, what the hell just happened to you? So, like a lot of other veterans here, and I'm sure there's plenty of them around that can share stories like that, that's my story that I'd like to share with you guys tonight. And please, if you do have any other veterans, please listen to their stories. My wife, my beautiful wife up here, Laura, keeps telling me I need to write my stories down, because eventually, as we either get older or as some veterans pass, those stories will not get shared. So thank you for letting me share that with you tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for inviting me to be your guest speaker tonight. God bless our service members and veterans, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Matt Partyka, everyone. One more time, a big round of applause. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being here this evening, Matt. We are just going to take half a minute right now as the players of the Prairie Ramblers come up to the front of the stage. It'll take us just a minute to get ourselves situated and set up. And we will continue with our musical tribute to America with some traditional New Orleans-style American jazz. Well, while we are getting set up right now, I do thank you sincerely for joining us this evening at this wonderful annual event. We, in the community band and here in the Prairie Ramblers, are so proud and honored to be a part of it, part of this celebration, the week-long celebration leading up to Independence Day. It is great to be here and celebrate America together with you. If you're looking for something to do over the next week, please come on back here. I guarantee you it will not be as hot on July 10th, Thursday, July 10th. The community band will present a full concert here on the stage, a lot of variety of music, interesting, fun pieces on a different theme than tonight. If you're looking for something to do downtown, head down to Father Hennepin Park on Tuesday, July 8th, and hear our Jazz on the Prairie Big Band, one of the groups in the Eden Prairie Community Band System. Father Hennepin Park, July 8th, and out at the Landscape Arboretum, Sunday afternoon, July 13th. Looks like we are just about ready. Jazz on the Prairie Big Band will be here on this stage in August as well. Check out our website for more information, epcommunityband.com. Well, we're going to begin our program right now with a piece of music made famous by a funny guy, a serious guy at times too. Favorite son of New Orleans, talking about the great Satchmo, Louis Armstrong, made a big hit with this one, Hello, Dolly. One, two, three. St. James Infirmary. Well, thank you. We're going to slow things way down. Play with feeling right now. A little St. James Infirmary Blues. St. James Infirmary. One, two, three, four. as the St. James Infirmary Blues. We'll play one more before we return the stage to the concert band. If you're a fan of Eden Prairie and Eden Prairie schools, you'll recognize this one. Yep, clarinet and trombone. Fred, give us a street beat. Well, thank you all. Sit tight for just half a minute, and we will continue with a couple more American patriotic faith. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming this evening. We do hope you will join us for our hometown festival activities over the next few days at Round Lake Park on July 3rd. Celebrate with friends and neighbors at Sparkle Fest, a community celebration for kids and families from 6 to 10. And at 10 p.m., you can experience our second annual July 4th themed drone show. Then on July 4th, starting at 3 p.m., join us for Eden Prairie's huge 4th of July celebration. Enjoy all varieties of music, including bluegrass, blues, country, and top 40 favorites, a fleet of amazing food trucks, connect with community organizations, and of course, view the wonderful fireworks show. We do hope to see you there. On behalf of the Eden Prairie Community Band and the City of Eden Prairie, we thank you all so much for coming out tonight. A very special thank you to the Chanhassen American Legion Post 580, and our deepest appreciation to Matt Partyka for his inspiring words. And now the Eden Prairie Community Band presents a final salute to America.
Thank you. Thanks again for coming. Yes, we had to save this one for last, so thanks again, veterans, and this is for you. Thank you. We hope to see you again. Thank you. Happy 4th.
On behalf of the City of Eden Prairie, the Eden Prairie Community Band, we do thank you so sincerely for being here this evening. Thanks to Matt Partyka, to the American Legion Honor Guard, to Mayor Case. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Come back and see us again sometime. Happy Independence Day, and we'll see you again. Be safe. Thank you, everybody.